هلا بالخميس هلا بالخميس ويكند عيال هلا بالخميس هلا بالخميس هلا بالخميس ويكند عيال هلا بالخميس.
بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن استنى بسنة إلى يوم الدين ثم أما بعد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. هلا بالخميس is ليلة الجمعة. We're in the same place, different seating. Can you hear it? Frogs croaking? Can you?
Can't.
Okay. Then I probably have supersonic hearing. Alhamdulillah. Technical error has arrived.
Alhamdulillah.
Yes. That is a quite name.
Technical error. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shaykh, how are you all doing?
Alhamdulillah.
Laylatul Jummah, best day of the week. I don't want to use it too much also.
What?
Shaykh, the whole best day of the week and Laylatul Jummah. But sometimes we don't.
Give it its due reverence.
Standing on the minbar, looking down and seeing how some brothers come to the masjid for Jummah, man. The clothing they wear. Nobody takes that extra effort. Like, you know, I remember a day when people used to, okay, no salah, no salah, broekie. But they were cognizant of the clothing. Is there any najasa on it? I just came from work. So I outtrek sy broek uit, hang dit daar op die hakkie. But then he has his salah broekie. And that's probably why they call it a salah pants. A salah pants. Something that is, you know, specific for salah. It hasn't been tampered with. It hasn't been sullied or soiled or failed, contaminated in any way. It is it fills the protocol.
No, definitely.
This khudu zinatakum inda kulli masjid is something, you know, that it's lost, man. Even on an Eid morning.
Yeah, gooi je old top one.
Put the old tracksuit pants.
Old track pants.
Old shoes. I mean, they're not going to steal
okay, the old shoes, obviously.
The old shoes, that's a given.
That's a given.
I
think we moved away from beautifying ourselves to beautifying our masajid.
Allahu Akbar. And beautifying the masajid is a sign of
Judgment Day.
Yeah, a sign of judgment day.
But I don't drop it, man. It's a trademark.
What's this?
That's the trademark. The intro. It's a trademark.
No podcast.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any other Do you know of a podcast that's on a Thursday?
No.
Bad Mamluks comes out. I don't know. During the week.
Yeah.
Any day during the week, yeah.
So it's Layla. Okay, I'm going to start over. So it's Laylatul Jummah, and we're about to usher in the best day of the week.
Alhamdulillah.
A day in which we increase in salawat upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A day in which there are so many sunan to do, and a day that has that sa'atul istijaba. That portion of time we can ask Allah anything, and as a believer, you will be granted what you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But it's been a week of surprises and surprise visits. Alhamdulillah, we have a surprise visitor. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Sheikh Munir, how are you doing?
Shukran for having me.
No. I look at the screen here and I see, mashallah, look how nice these guys look in white. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that your best clothing is your white clothing. And shroud you're dead in it. Now I'm just look tough now in that blue though.
Captain, kan mos select your team.
Nou moet ek maar strippen of so. Okay, ek is ook die kaptein nie, man. Verstaan? Maar Shaykh, we have a very interesting topic this evening. GBV. We really
spoke about it last week.
Yeah, we touched on it. And so it's GBV, anger, and then Gheera or Gheera. Well, what's the proper one? Is
Gheera, yeah. But where does the Gheera fit in? That's what I want to know.
Because, okay, I find when sisters speak about their husbands, they confuse anger with Gheera.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's controlling.
Actually, dit is los net met die kag gelos.
Mashallah.
So if you don't have healthy jealousy, or what's a better word for it? Protective jealousy.
Yeah, protective jealousy.
If you don't have protective jealousy, which can be misunderstood as anger, right? Then what do you have as a man? Your wife comes and goes and wears and if we go back to the podcast we did on Andrew Tate, that's exactly what he's like, you know,
speaking about. That's what he's preaching that.
That's what brought him to Islam, and it's not control, and it's not being a misogynist and being the captain.
It's a
Pressure.
measure. It's a measure that you put in place.
And I think, maar just to.
No, go for it, Sheikh.
That's how we do it.
I'm
That's
the
how we do
newbie. I'm the
No.
newbie.
This is what the people enjoy.
Yeah, so this is something I've been preaching in my nikah classes, and I've said to the tulab, I said to him, listen, everybody's going to tell you the hukuk rijal, hukuk nisa,
No.
Yeah.
all that. But how do you live together?
Translation.
The rights of the husband, the rights of the wife, and but how do you amalgamate the two, and how what do you distinguish, like Sheikh says now, anger over jealousy and protectiveness? How do you differentiate the two? So I think first of all, when you want to discuss about the protective nature, you must first be like an Amir and Sultan in the house.
No.
Then they will be able to differentiate between the two. Dis net as jy opstaan, jy as hy alweer wakker is. Kinders mis.
Yeah.
Sien almal die. But when they see, look, my daddy's protective of especially his daughters
Yes.
and his wife, then they will know the difference. Maar as jy die mekaar is heel dag, elke dag, and they won't be able to differentiate between the two.
And I know this guy's very protective of his daughter. Nah? I said, after that picture, I mean,
Was
the
a gun.
Yeah, with a gun.
En hoe maak hy die gun
If
skoon?
the guy comes to, he will find this at home and all that.
Yeah, and I said, was net also, she said she's part of the nikah.
Okay.
Ons sê as jy trou as jy 60 is,
Ja,
kon man klop.
En sy kry 'n vrou as sy
And
80 is.
what many people don't know about Shaykh Mounir, that I know, maybe you guys don't know this, die man slaat weiber kries met boxing gloves. Hy sy punching bag.
Sheikh, jy pak my kassie.
Yes.
Mashallah.
Sheikh, but I mean, I remember, and I've mentioned this before, I attended a leadership program, back in the days, probably like 20 years ago. There was a sheikh here from Comore Islands, Dr. Umar Kasuli. So it was a leadership program. And back then it was still ICOSA, and it was in that civic next to Masjid al-Quds. And he was speaking about the different types of leadership, dictatorship, democracy, and then just do what you want to.
Yeah.
But as a father, you need to have all three of them. So Shaykh Mounir says, if you dictate the whole day,
Yeah.
then what's going to happen? There's going to be an uprising.
No.
You understand? There's going to be things done behind your back. There are going to be alliances formed. So now the kids are feeling oppressed and the mothers are oppressed. And now they create this alliance. And you have this picture.
Because in
I'm the
control.
Sultan al-Bayt. And you know, so...
You must also, when it comes to Gheera, you look at the hadith where Rasul says, "Kullukum ra'in." So everyone you appointed as a shepherd of your flock. But what does a shepherd do, man? What does he? He doesn't box his sheep in or his cattle in or whatever. He checks the perimeter if it's safe. Then he leaves them to graze, man. And when
there's
has this
danger.
inkling, so you must be able to then see or identify when there's danger or identify when there's changes within your house, within your household, and then you step in. Not all the time, man. Because by the time if you scowl every day, then they're gonna start shutting down when you open your mouth.
The thing about scaling every day is it's not going to be effective.
They're gonna shut down.
I mean, if you beat as an educator, and jy ko in 'n static kinders elke dag, dat hy pak gaan nie werk.
Yeah, they become immune to it. Yeah.
They become immune to it. So it's really about using hikmah, putting everything in its place. So that's why I wanted to speak about Gheera and anger. And I was reading this article by the late Shaykh Muhammad al-Sharif. He speaks about why couples fight, why couples become angry with each other. And he speaks about the falcon. Did you read that article? So he speaks about the falcon, right? And a falcon's eyes are covered. And what happens when they cover your eyes? If somebody puts a bag over your head, you go crazy, you freak out, you can't be composed. They put a bag over a falcon's head, nothing happens. Why? Because a falcon doesn't have an imagination.
Okay.
You understand? So he's calm. When that black bag is put over our head, we become jittery. We become freaked out. Right? So we have an imagination. So what happens in a relationship, there are certain holes. Right? So, for example, you told your wife you're going to be home at 10. Right? Now it's 10:15.
Okay.
So what happens? Her imagination.
Yes. Yes.
If it was a falcon, it's 10:15, 10:30 is all the same.
And it's not necessarily imagination that is bad. It can be concern as well.
That's concern, yeah. Yeah.
It's
Now she get a
concern.
phone, and now you're busy here still,
Yeah.
and now you're not picking up.
Yes.
Now what's he busy doing
Yeah.
now? Why?
Yeah.
So because of our imaginations, and we don't like holes, man, in a story, so we fill it.
Yeah.
We fill it with past events,
Yes.
or we fill it with things that could possibly be,
Possibilities.
but it's not the reality.
Yeah.
And so we start fighting. She's starting to fight because she's, or even he. I'm not saying, because mostly now we're using now
Our example.
our
Yeah.
example. We
Yeah.
out and the
Yeah.
family's at home. But I mean, your wife could be working away, and
Yeah.
then she's supposed to phone when she arrives there.
Yeah.
But now it's 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later.
That's
But we
why
don't take into consideration load shedding and all that stuff.
That's why alhamdulillah, this podcast, ek kan sien ek is hierso. Ek is hier.
Vrou kan sê.
Ja, ek het nie gesien sê ek kom hier toe, as ek somewhere else, ek is hier. Ek kan sien ek is hierso. Yeah, but like she said, in the environment that you are, the climate we're living in also, with so many things that can go wrong.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
so it's very important for us. Communication is very important,
Yeah.
and the way we communicate also. So when you tell a story, or when she asks you where you are, right, and newlyweds go through this a lot. And then the young man, he would say, maybe example, don't track me, or don't track my movement, and because you're light in it,
Don't cramp my style,
don't
and
cramp,
don't
that
this,
type of
yeah.
stuff. And that because of that, like Sheikh said, the gap in the story, or the gap in the miscommunication, it leads to a lot of arguments, man, right? And also, it's very important. I don't know if that's like part of the discussion, but it's very important also.
Whatever you bring in is part of the discussion.
It's very important when the newlyweds are together. Learn to know each other first, man, before you invite people into your circle.
Yeah. That's.
Learn to know each other, because, like I said to them last night also, you're gonna tell your version of the story, not the truth, and she's gonna tell her version of the story, not the truth.
Yeah.
So now there you go. You're gonna get advice as per your version of you telling somebody.
You know, Shaykh Moulana, that's so true. In most of the cases that you hear of, man, and you speak to the brother, and he says, Sheikh, but it isn't so. Her sisters all came, and her friends all came to the house and made a love. They didn't even give me a chance to speak, man. You understand? So when we start our life together, it changes, man.
It does.
It can't be the exact same. She can't have her circle of friends, and you have your circle of friends, and now just everybody becomes friends, and everybody is kumbaya. You got married. You are choosing or prioritizing
Yes.
this individual,
Yes.
right? So you need to do things which is going to sustain that relationship, and you
Definitely.
can't put it on autopilot.
Definitely.
So anger, Sheikh. So we spoke about Gheera, right? Well, we're not finished with Gheera. This is still the intro. So anger, because number one, a wife would say, my husband gets angry very quick, right? When they come to complain, my husband becomes angry very quick. The second common issue is when it's the time for talaq, and it's now 3 shots has been shot. And the brother would now go with the anger card. You know, I was angry. I was very angry. But did you understand what you're saying? Yes, but I was very angry.
Yeah, but then who then gives a talaq with a smile on their face?
Exactly.
100%. 100%.
So what do we do when we're angry, Sheikh Ashik?
What do we do in what sense?
In a management. Have you ever been angry in your...
Ek is 'n baie pious individual. No, definitely.
That's why they call you technical era.
That definitely glitch in the system, yeah. No, alhamdulillah, I think, there's no real human being that if you have never experienced anger, I don't think you can call yourself a human. No, the Prophet got angry, obviously for the sake of Allah.
Yes.
So everyone gets angry. Allah gets angry. It is one of the sifas and the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He gets angry for people who disobey Him. So I think any human being out there, they experience anger. I think what works best for me is just take myself out of that environment that I'm in. Huh?
But I mean, the sunnah is all about the sunnah anger management tips is all about changing
your environment and your situation. Yeah.
So what do we do according to the sunnah?
And that's why I said bring the book. Because the book has a whole list. So from the sunnah, obviously, there's isti'adha.
What is isti'adha?
Isti'adha means seeking the protection
Because
of Allah
sometimes
Ta'ala.
our viewers say we're a bit too academic, so
We do academic is tiny. But isti'adha basically means
To say
seeking
a'udhu billah.
a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Adhkar,
So why would you seek protection from shaitan? This is anger, isn't it? Two separate things.
because shaitan is normally the one
It
you
instigates.
know that instigates, you know.
Al-ghadab min ash-shaytan.
Nah.
That is now the
And-
cream of the crop.
Yeah, definitely. And so the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us that when experiencing anger, the Prophet saw a man experiencing anger, and he said that if this man says, I know a word, that if this man says it, no, la dhahaba anhu ma yajid. That which he's experiencing will leave him, i.e. the anger, you know. And the Prophet said that, and Allah speaks about it in the Quran as well. And then there's obviously dhikrullah, remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is also a means of, you know, pushing away shaitan. There is, you know, when you're standing, sitting, or sitting, standing, changing your setup, abdas, wudu, performing wudu, because when you are angry, you are
Fiery.
yeah, fiery, yeah.
And who's firing? And who's firing? Shaitan is firing.
Yeah, and so you need to dispel that with through means of wudu and water and so forth and so on. And there are many other asbab and different types of ilaj in the sunnah.
I'm going to go off topic here, kind of off topic, and I'm going to ask, have we ever experienced an angry khatib?
An angry khatib. I've never really experienced an angry khatib. Okay, ek is mos nou baie jonger as julle. So I've never really experienced an angry khatib. I've experienced a complaining khatib maybe.
Nagging.
That complains about situations, man. That says like, ja, en die mense roek. Ja, en die kinders verbruik drugs. It's most like
There's no
they
ghair in the ummah.
venting and there's no khair in the ummah and stuff like that, but not really angry. Have you experienced an angry khatib?
Have you seen
I've never come across a place where the imam is fed up of the committee or so forth, man, and then he just vents.
It's usually a guest speaker, man.
Yes, guest speakers. And normally, I would assume it's the imam of the mosque that's using that as a platform now.
You know, because I'm like torn, man, between the old and the new when it comes to khatibs, man. Like people would say, "Hy skree."
Yeah.
Hy skree. Hy praat, hy skree. Right? You know, on the other hand, if the guy doesn't shout or doesn't raise his voice, that's nobody's mouth.
It's boring.
It's boring.
It doesn't grab you. It doesn't captivate
Ek het
you.
gehoor jy skree as die spieg gooi.
But it depends also on the topic, man. What
Yeah,
is
depends,
being
yeah.
said.
You know what I feel?
And
I feel that every now and then there's a khatib that people look to, that other khatibs look to as a model.
Yeah, as a model khatib, yeah.
So our predecessors, or not predecessors, our elders in the community, and we're speaking now about mashayikh that has become imams from the 80s, 90s. The model was Sheikh Abdul Hamid Kishk. Sheikh Abdul Hamid Kishk was known to
Fiery khutbas, yeah.
fiery khutbas.
Yeah, but he was passionate. He was
Yeah.
He wasn't angry.
Yeah,
passionate.
But sometimes in imitating, man, you don't have that. Have you seen somebody that imitates even in the recital and there's takalluf? There's like he's forcing
you're
it.
not experiencing the emotion that the speaker is experiencing.
It's just the
that's
imitation,
artificial. It's artificial. You must speak according to your emotion, man. Like that.
And I think when the khatib, and this is like maybe on a lighter note, when he becomes angry, he must always ask hoeveel committee meetings heeft gehad voor die
Subhanallah.
Dan zal hij zien hoe kwaad is hij.
But Sheikh, you asked me if I experienced
Angry khatib.
angry khatib. Is this khatib in Morocco, man, on YouTube? Have you seen?
The one that they take from the member. The one that the security police come.
They take him.
I don't know. I think
There's one
I saw
khutbah
it.
now where he has the asa, where he has the tongue in his hand, and
he-
he's knocking. Then he throws it down, and then there's this picture, a rakam on the mimbar, and he takes it off and he breaks it on the.
Oh, no.
No,
Have you ever seen that?
that's-
But that's not
insanity.
even that's not even a joke. No, that's how he speaks. That's so it is
That's just
extreme.
possible. Yeah, no.
So you can't speak like that, right?
No, you can't.
So when we speak about anger in a marriage, the opposite would be rifq. The opposite would
Or
be
hilm,
yeah, gentleness.
gentleness, yeah.
Gentle nature.
And the Prophet ﷺ says that gentleness is not found in something except that that
Beautifies
thing is
it.
beautified and it's not taken out of.
Except that it
Something-
disfigures it, yeah.
So how do we?
I think that comes with experience. Sheikh. I think it's a bit, you have to navigate all the potholes.
Yeah.
First of all, because I always believe that in the first 5 to 7 years of marriage, you're navigating.
Itch.
Yeah.
The 5-year itch. I
Yeah,
speak
you're
about the 5 years.
navigating. Because I always tell the guys or tell the couple, listen, you come out of a household where the geezer is on holiday. And you can come anytime you can come
Kwaai,
shower.
kwaai.
Now she doesn't come from so also.
Hy kom van hy self niks giezen nie.
Niks, ja.
Kietels.
Ja, en nou kom hy toe, of course hy is toe. Sê wil shower, water is koud. Nee man, dis moet sien how it start there.
Yeah.
Instead of, but instead of, and what is something also that can remedy a situation like this, but not easily, but it will remedy the situation, is speaking to each other, not at each other.
Yeah.
That is something that will,
Genius.
yeah. Because what happens is now is dan begin hulle skryf van mekaar.
Mm.
And you start talking past each other.
It's a contest
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when we argue, almal wil reg wees.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to say, listen, I concede.
Sheikh, what's funny for me, this passive aggression, man. When you see somebody's WhatsApp status.
Yeah. Hallo. Hallo vir jou.
Like, so I can't wash now. Somebody used all the hot water.
That's
What's up with that shit?
That's what I mean.
But why must the dunya know, man?
That's it. That's what I speak to each other.
Your issues not with your contacts on
Keep
WhatsApp.
it. Yeah.
Your issues at home.
And the funny part is you might block that person that must see it. You might block. You know what?
But he's not even faced, or she's not faced.
Or another tactic. Nobody else can see it except that person that's supposed to see it. And nou sy ook op sy nerves, nou weet almal van ons 'n waterstorie is. And there's not a capital. You know what the capital is?
No.
Die laaste keer vir ons sê wat is 'n capital?
You guys explained, I forgot. Yeah.
The pit talk before you get married in the
pep talk.
Breidskamer.
The pep talk,
In the Breidskamer.
I give that a lot to people, but I don't even know what it's
Okay, the
called.
capital. Every capital that I ever heard of a father, of a grandfather, sort hulle problems uit
In die kamer.
in die kamer.
Hulle sê die fatwa van die bruidskamer.
Die fatwa.
Die fatwa van die bruidskamer is and then they quote that that hunna libasul lakum wa antum
Antum
libasul
libasul
lahun. Whatever hier in die kamer gebeur, word uitgesoort ook in die kamer en dit bly in die kamer.
Kamer's Vegas.
Ja, so
What happens in
daar
Vegas
is die
stays in
fatwa.
Vegas.
Ja.
But it's difficult. It's more easier said than done.
It is,
Especially
yeah.
if the couple is living in his or her parents' houses.
Ja.
It's difficult.
Hoe skel jy whisper?
Ja. Of as hy aspirus is, hy gaan nie so man sy kamer nie.
Ja.
Van die week af,
Ja.
sit hy by sy ma eers.
Pak hy uit, ja.
nou, koek hy vir ons.
Nee, ek kan praat van experience. Ek kan praat van
Ja, koek hy vir ons bloed. But subhanallah, it's and they must go through this, man. The kids, they must go through it. And we can't, mollycoddle them.
Yeah, it's like a pair of new shoes, Sheikh. I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't walk lekker.
The shape of the foot is not formed yet.
And then when it's lekker fitting, then they steal it at the masjid.
What do you then say? I can't get to the verses now, but when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and those that bring yaqeen in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they bring iman and they bring yaqeen in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When they get angry, they forgive quickly.
وَسَارِعُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ.
Yeah, and they in their anger, they forgive as well.
Yeah.
والكاظمين الغيظ
والعافين عن الناس.
Yeah, so where do we fit in? Because when we're angry, we're angry.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Sheikh, that anger, when you say if we're angry, right? We usually have that type of anger with somebody who we feel we have an upper hand over them. So you're angry at work, angry, but nou kom jy baas en nou is
mak, ja.
Mak. But your vrou is now in your eyes weaker than you. Your kids are weaker than you. So now you don't have the kadhimin al-ghayz.
Yeah.
For them, yeah.
Check meneer, is jy bang vir jou vrou?
Baie.
Oh, daar lag sy aan.
Ek sê wat gaan nou hoor? Ek sê dit nie.
No, I'm just joking. You are 100% correct. 100%.
Because that's not kadhimin al-ghayz, man. Because that's just being a coward. Because what is virtuous, what is encouraged by the Prophet ﷺ is when you have that ability to act on that anger, but then you choose not to. And you're given a promise of a house. And
Subhanallah.
House.
Like my property. But I mean, you speak about house in Hur. Gheera. Right? The Prophet ﷺ in his dream, right, sees this house, sees Hur taking wudu outside of the house, sees this magnificent house, wants to enter the house, and then he's told this is Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu's house.
Lifatan min Quraysh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Prophet just steps back and sees, but
I know he's.
Umar has
I remember his Gheera.
protective jealousy. I'm not going to enter. This is a dream. of the Prophet. Umar is not there. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
sallallahu
Umar is
alaihi
not there. Radiallahu ta'ala anhu, but the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam remembers his protective jealousy and says no.
And we should have, we should, as husbands, we must be known for that. Man. We should be known for that.
I think we've our not maybe us, but the later generation has fallen prey to this stigma that Muslim males oppress Muslim females. So whatever they see on social platforms, social media. So if you say no, whatever is trending on social media, you become automatically by default you become the oppressive husband. Right? So now she also wants to do this trending on kyk sê ek moet begin 'n TikTok man.
Okay.
My students lag vir hulle klaar vir my hele dag. Ek wil kyk ek is nou week 2 on TikTok. Now I'm monitoring now what's going on there. And I say everything becomes a trend. Now, say for example, husband A says to wife B, listen, no, you can't do this. Now, like Sheikh said, the passive aggressive comes out, the statuses go up and blah, blah, blah. Now we keep asking, wat gaat aan? Nou, ek wil mos nou, dis Beyoncé, move maak op TikTok. Hy sê, nee, ek kan nie. Now I become the oppressive husband.
But Sheikh, have you seen already with many influences, man? If it's the wife and the husband is now part of the whatever.
Yeah.
Hy lyk soos hy nie wil daar
He's not there by choice. It's more like a accessory to the what's the name?
That's what I say.
He's more like an accessory in the video.
And also, now you say the tables turned a lot over the years, man. You say we're speaking about
oppressing women.
Yeah, but men, and we're not usually because we men, we're not gonna speak about. And I say we, but we're not gonna speak about it. We're gonna keep quiet.
Why?
Because we're ashamed.
We don't want other men to.
We don't want our ego to be.
Your ego, your all of that is telling you, look here. Rather just keep quiet, man.
Sy hoor maar hoe dit is half saam met die ouens. Ja, die moet sy draai rug, kan ek niks. I see.
Okay, so it's not the husband. You know, he's down the shoes now, and you're turning your back. It's
yeah. So you get you. We're speaking from a one-sided perspective. When we say gender-based violence, then we
automatically because it's been shaped already for us.
Yeah, but it's twofold still nowadays, and it's happening more when it comes to men.
And they won't speak about
because,
it.
Yeah, because of the position that females have now, man, in society and in the household. Because I earn more than you, so I have more say than you, and I can hold my own, and I can pay my own way, and I don't even need you.
You know, that's where the seerah comes in, Moulana, man. Because I mean, if you look at the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he's the model of being a husband whose wife, for most of his life, earns more than him.
Yeah.
For most of his life, his wife is earning more than him, but it's never an issue of. When he comes back from the ghar, from the cave, she doesn't tell him, but weet vir jou gesê dat jy moet daar gaan sit. You could almost been here. I'm working, I'm making money, you go sit in the cave. But she supports him.
You speaking about him coming back, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from the cave, when he took provision for 2 days and he stayed for 3 days. She knew her husband so well, she thought he only took provision for 2 days. Let me take another day's provision for him. Even though I went to go work and he's sitting in that cave. So
ja, dat valt
no, bismillah.
No, this is, I mean, ek is blij ook van aan. Because why this is stuff that I'm trying to inculcate in the marriage class. Because all the points that I'm listening to, the stuff that I'm trying to teach the young couples. Because as every marriage class you're going to go to, they teach you just right. But they don't cover all this.
It's not marriage is not black and white, man.
Yeah, this is not discussed.
Because if we speak about rights and obligations, and everybody's going to speak about their rights.
It's like a mechanical.
And never speak about their obligations.
Yeah, that is.
And it becomes mechanical, man. That is my reg. You don't want marriages like that. These things must flow.
That's why
that must come naturally.
And I'm not saying, and I'm not going to be one of those grumpy old men that say, "I don't can see lang getrouwd wees and all that." But it's in reality, everything is so fast, man. So now you're married, you have the smallest of problems. And then now you throw the baby out with the bathwater because it cannot be solved. You know, I've heard people divorcing because they can't choose a name for their first baby. Yeah, that first baby becomes the only baby.
Yeah, even where do they?
Oh, double barrel surname.
Surname, yeah.
Mommy of stuff.
No, because why I was making that point that Moulana was making now about the provisions and all that. I said in last week's class, I said to them, we're going to do the duties of the husband and the rights of the husband and so on. And everybody was telling us, when I said duties of the husband, I'm
Yes.
yes. Nafaka. Nafaka. I said, what about you, Islam? Don't you want me to teach you Islam first and install Islam in your house first before you even get to Nafaka? Because once you're going to get there, and that is, and the topic, and a lot of people think that this, the gender-based violence, discrimination, dictatorship, all the stuff is divorced from deen in your house, man. It goes hand in hand.
And then, yeah.
It goes hand in, and all the dots connect together.
Yeah.
Right? And I said to them, if he is a proper sultan in the home, doing his duty the way he's supposed to be doing it, other things become like small. Nobody's saying it's problem-free. Like we don't live in, in a utopia. It's going to be there, but we'll be able to handle it. We're going to be able to handle it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody has problems. How you deal with the problems, believers and disbelievers and weak believers all differ. Because another person, when he's facing financial strife, he doesn't have Allah in his life, takes a gun and puts it in his mouth or against his head and clap, because he thinks YOLO, you only live once, and delivers let's just finish it. And so every other problem becomes a bigger problem when there's no deen. Like the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, which says every heart has like a cloudy moment. Like he compares the heart to the moon, and that moon can be the 15th night of the Hijri month, right as day, a cloud comes over and covers that moon. But what we cease to forget is that cloud will move on, and it will go away. And so to the marital issues, it comes and it goes away. And at that moment, you think it's something that can never be solved. Something that will, this is the end. This is going to break us. And then later you can look at it years later and think,
like you.
I've learned that lesson from my budget.
What from you?
From my budget.
Okay, explain.
Your earnings and your budget.
Okay.
Your expenses is X. Your earnings is here. But every month you're okay. You come through it every month and you don't have an explanation.
Shares from Allah, man. Like I have this a story that you all know that I will share later on. But there's things that's just like
Allah
from above.
Man. Yeah. Wallahi.
True.
It's not that you can't make sense of it.
No.
Your sense that you're making is Allah.
Yes.
There's no other answer.
Because you're setting your limits to what happens.
You're projecting it on Allah. Definitely.
Shaykh, a hadith of Gheera comes to mind. Right?
Yeah.
So there's this term that the Prophet ﷺ uses for somebody who doesn't have Gheera, the youth.
Cuckold.
That's a lulaka word, but it's an English word.
I actually used it on a status because I was flipping through Facebook and I saw it was pictures like the Iran. I didn't open up the picture, but I could see small pictures where a guy is doing the hair of his girlfriend or probably his wife. He's putting on his shoes. She looks like someone's going out having a fun night on the town, and he's gonna be at home. So people were saying it was a UFC fighter that shared it, man. He said, is this yay or nay? So I said, look here, in Islam, we would call this a cuckold. I mean, a guy who prepares his wife to go out at night and he sits at home. What type of guy is that? There's no sense of ghira there. So in Arabic, we call it a dayuth or a cuckold. Alladhi, the Prophet gave the definition, Alladhi yuqirru fi ahlihi al-khabath, the one who allows filth and fawahish to take place amongst women.
Okay, nou ek wil nou op die mense toe in 'n trappie, right? But now
just keep that fawahish there.
Okay, so father is sitting on the couch watching TV. Daughter opens the door. Boyfriend comes to visit. Boyfriend goes into bedroom and visits. Hulle is vriende. Would that fall under?
Definitely, yeah.
And it's so common.
It's normal.
Yeah.
So normal.
It's normal in society.
But you see, if society makes it a norm, if they normalize it, then you don't see the weakness in yourself because everyone else does it. And I say this every time. Whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks in the Quran about the majority, it's never in the positive. It's never in the positive. So why would you want to put yourself
in the It's always about the small group. The small group is always the.
So why don't you be
strange?
Be strange.
But okay, that term is also now being
Yeah.
used very loosely.
Very-
Ons wil nou nie lawsuits hê.
Grobba.
Ons wil nou nie lawsuits hê.
Wat as-
Kan ik eerst hier komen, word ik gesoes aan.
Yeah, don't.
Maar hulle sê ghurba nie, hulle is ghurba. Ek het gelees die translation. Ghurba.
Ghurba.
Ja, hulle het vergiet toe my boot.
Hoe reg te spel.
Ja, wat reg.
Nou as 'n ou so spel, as you know, Sheikh, maybe I'm trapping on toes now.
Nee, as 'n ou so speel, dan gaan tikkie sy judgment op die Koran vat hy.
You know, but sometimes
Hoe hy kan nie reg speel nie.
you know, a student of knowledge that spells assalamu alaikum wrong. And I find it like
Normal. Ja.
90% Islam alaikum. I'm
Islam
thinking,
alaikum.
You
Ah.
have a problem with it.
No, I have a
Huge
massive problem with that, man. How do you navigate? How do you read if you can't spell assalamu alaikum? And I'm not judging you,
Yeah.
but I mean,
You're
double
giving me
check.
an
man.
indication
Double
of
check.
of your level, man.
Yep.
That is just how it is.
But Sheikh Jesus our ustad and our Sheikh Zakir Naiki.
Of the inshallah.
Inshallah. I understand where he comes from. Ansha, yunshu,
But
insha means to create.
you know, even when we have the program on the radio. So now, I don't know what can of worms I opened 2 weeks ago, but then questions just flew in regarding names. People's names.
Okay.
Meaning, and do you spell it with a SH or with a
Daar is
with a
kwaai
T
go van sulke
or with a
programs.
TH? But I mean, I tell the person it's irrelevant how you spell it in English.
Mm.
Because we don't really follow the.
Yeah.
There is a transliteration
Guide, yeah, there is a
in
guide, yeah.
academia, but
Yes.
we don't use that.
Uh-uh.
So it's irrelevant how you spell it in English, but how you say it in Arabic is important.
It's
You know, our
important, yeah.
very first when we did, you speaking about how do they call it? Tire
Critical marks.
critical marks. The very
Die
first,
T met die dotjies die ta.
yeah,
die
the very
S met die
first
dotjies
assignment
die
we
sod.
did for that.
We did a
post on
module
it.
man die UWC man.
He passed on. Allah grant him high
Rahimahullah.
place in Jannah, inshallah. He sends my whole document back. You don't have none of that marks on. How am I supposed to know? That is,
But that's academia, Sheikh, because they take it.
Academia, it's more about presentation man. As jy
Yeah.
study by die university is more van hoe het lyk en hoe jou argument is. Is nie van like
Right or wrong.
The-
Right,
the-
yeah.
the substance-
substance.
yeah, substance is not
substance.
important, yeah.
So you're just dressing
but
it
okay,
up in.
so you're speaking about fahisha. Now, what if the wife? I'm just gonna.
People
We must have a verse that is how they say the beating of the wife. Verse.
ja, ek wil sê nou jy uitbring my bro.
I did last night also.
Hy het
we
tot
must have-
dorp.
we have a
Fuck
verse.
the
Yeah, we have a verse
Ah,
that they call it the beating of the wife.
Yeah.
Verse.
hy tot
So
dorp ja.
how do we?
We mentioned this last week.
Somebody comes. He says, the wife complains. Moulana, you know what? He beats me. Whatever. And you summon him, and he comes, and he says,
You
"Yeah,
first
Allah
beat
sê in
him.
die Quran.
Oh,
Allah sê in die Quran dat as hulle nie vir jou luister nie, dan kan jy
but
vir
you
hulle
get people speaking like that. I've
slap.
never heard
That
someone
is-
speaking.
Yes.
No, I mean, I find imam speaking like
Yes, definitely.
Not imams.
No, man.
that. I haven't come across an imam that would speak like on that level of
Then
confidence.
he's probably spelling Assalamu alaikum with a C.
No, but I mean, we spoke about this last week, right?
Yeah.
When Sheikh Yusuf brought it up and I said, like, look here, the Prophet ﷺ is known as he's a'adhamul mufassirin. He's the greatest of people who interpret the Quran.
Yes.
And Aisha said he never raised his hand to a female.
Yeah.
So whose understanding do we take, right?
And when all that people came to complain to his wives, he said, this is happening in society.
Yeah.
But it's not done by the best.
Laysu bikhiyarikum, yeah. They are not the
So-
best of you.
Yeah.
That guy who's now saying, the Quran say, does he make salah? Does he kennis is sit and opstaan?
Now here's my thing. The verse is a few things. It says you advise,
Yeah.
and you separate bids,
You turn your back.
and then after that you admonish at a level. Man. If you translate that verses, but given the evidences from the hadith, you're not going to lift your hands.
Yeah.
I think we all can agree that that's
Everyone
not-
can agree that is not the
that's-
gender-based
that's
violence that
not
is
the-
taking place today. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not that. So did you advise? Did you separate from her in the bed,
Or did you start with a
or
club?
did you start with a club and then separate, and then talk to her afterwards? Jy sien hoe kom het ek jou geklap? Is because van, and because ons ek het jou nog geslaat, nou draai ek my rug op jou. So you taking that verse and you turning it upside down and you're starting wrong because the action there is not even advising you to do that.
Because it's not, the intention is not islah, man. To rectify this. The intention is, ek wil nou my way, ek is kwaad en ek wil vir jou nou.
So I come from an area, poor area.
Ja,
Alhamdulillah, come from a poor area. My upbringing is from a poor area, and in poor areas, illa mashallah, you find that the titi is living with the buta for long already, but she's not married.
I
You find
experienced
that a
that. I experienced that. I thought the kids were my age.
Yeah.
I was in high school and I was like moving with this one imam. And I would always sign as witness. So we went one night to do a nikah. I thought one of the children was getting married, but actually the mommy and the daddy that was getting married. And so she said, nee, but Fulana is hier vandaan nie, maar hy het gou iemand getrek met die bakkie. Kom maar môre anders kan môre aan trou. That's common.
It was common. It was common. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive our elders. And then also another common thing is a lot of the males is not circumcised. That's why you still find we're having this drives
For circumcision.
Circumcision drives, yeah.
Okay, a message goes out, guys. If you know of 18-year-olds plus, there's a doctor is going to do it for free.
Sheikh, you know, my wife's cousin was speaking about the price of circumcision. She recently had a baby, son born, and it cost 2,500, 2,200, 2,500.
Is there like areas?
In the hospital, to circumcise in a private hospital. I mean, for most people, 2,500 is
that's a lot of money.
is groceries for the month. So now they're going to 1 month, another month, next month.
And then afterwards they just decide.
So if you're looking at, numbers, you have a son born, it's 2 sheep, that's like 6,100. And then the circumcision is 2,500. And the imam se slaaf wat om te slag die skape. There's like a 10K that you need to have just to start off.
Sell the PlayStation.
So,
Ja,
sell your toys.
sell it toys, yeah.
So there was a comment.
As for your own benefit.
He says there's a comment. So
Go for it.
Auntie Adila, mashallah. Auntie Adila's always.
The Adla mentioned to me today, she specifically comments it's to show support, inshallah. Shukran, jazakumullah khair.
Auntie Adila. A man who displays Gheera in public with his woman folk, he will be utterly amazed when he realizes how his wife and daughters appreciate this type of vitality and strength from him.
Hey,
a wife wants a brave man.
Yes.
Hey, yo.
If he wants her to submit to his commands, Gheera is a sure way. Sheikh, I always make this example. Brother Muhammad Tawfa?
Yeah.
So we were at Pine Lake once, and he wanted to book accommodation for the next getaway. We went to the office, and so this Boere Tannie, she was there, and she says, ek is baie impressed met julle Muslims. Julle kyk daarom mooi agter julle vrouens. So julle wil seker 'n property hê met 'n swembad agter. You probably want a property with a pool at the back, because julle laat mos julle vrouens gesien word by ander mense. Ek waardeer dit. Ek dink dis iets mooi. And I was like, and other people would look at it as oppression.
Yes.
People look at it from the outside, and they say, look how nice the Muslims look after
And the
them.
Muslim that is in here is thinking that you're oppressing your wife.
Because the Muslim in here is
Allah
affected
forgive
by
us.
liberal
Allah forgive us.
understandings through social media and all of
And
these
this is part of Gheera. I mean, you don't want your wife to be. I mean, if you come in a gathering and everybody's kissing your wife and
Shaking
hugging
hand.
your wife and it's labarang and amo, it's like
Strangely enough, something happened today at home. So I come home and my wife is at home and whatever, and she says, smell yum. And I kick and say, die man het nou my hande gevat en sy gaan aan. But my daughter is laughing the whole time. She bought perfume. But she now obviously tasted the perfume. She bought perfume for me. Tasted the perfume. But now, jy ken 'n trick wat ek met my brille.
stinky eye.
As by the ouens bang ba?
Ja. Sy kan mos nie allow.
As die vingers is so wat sulke signs, sulke goede.
So you must have that.
Kan jy sê van watter area is hy?
Ja, as die vingers is daar animal signs en gang signs.
Nevertheless,
Hy gaan die krag weg.
coming. Never. Never give krag. Never.
Define for us what is giving krag weg. Sien jy?
Another podcast.
Daai is ryp my bro. Kan jy identify dit?
If you know, you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know. Yeah, the coming back to the point there, Sheikh. So we live in those areas where the titi and the buta they weren't married and whatever. And then you find also in that areas that the vrouwens het pakke kry.
Yeah, it's normal.
It was a norm and you would overhear them speaking and they would say, "Nee gestaan toe kry ek weer pak weer."
Yeah,
and it's almost like they were proud of it.
Like mentally, they were.
They messed up.
They were messed up, yeah.
Again, I'm saying, I'm not referring to everyone. I'm not saying that every person that enjoyed it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying now the small little or my experience or one of my experiences that, and I'm thinking you're not even married. You're not bounded to this man. You can walk away, man. But you're not.
Sure, but yeah, you get that in relationships now. The girlfriend and boyfriend club.
So that is technically most boyfriend and girlfriend. They're not married.
Yeah.
They're just living together.
Why do you go through it?
Why do you
accept it? Yeah.
Before the physical abuse comes, his mental abuse game is so strong that when he physically abuses,
She is like.
it's your fault.
So
I didn't want to do this.
You made me do
You
it.
made me
So
do it.
then
Yeah.
technically
From
he's
my
a
perspective,
narcissist. Then he's a narcissist.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Any person that hits on a regular basis hits and hits
Or
and hits.
even a
or-
sociopath, but definitely before you see, like I said to them last night, if any man who claims to love you puts his hand on you, you walk away immediately. It's not if buts and why.
Yeah.
You walk away. But before they get there, and there's always the weaker males that puts their hands on females. He will never put his hand on another male ever. If I could, Sheikh, if I could just give you an example. Nie nou toe jy leer gewees het, maar nie nou nie. Gaan jy lekker nou is 10 geïnbreek. Jy leer weet dit. We had a group of friends, right? And if we found out about stuff like this, we would pay you a visit. Let me ask you. And the wife must sit there, the husband sit there. Say, Johanna gesit. That woman is so shy even to admit that that man put his hands on her. Right? And if she says yes, or we must now know that he did, then we sort you out. En sê dit as hy weer. Phone ons kom weer. We need take mos met die polisie nie. And this is something that must be made known also to our daughters and to our females. You're not alone.
Yeah.
This is where it comes around.
Yeah.
Because this is my opinion, guys, is that when the poor lady goes to police, wherever they must go to, they interrogate her as if she did something wrong.
Yes.
Why did you talk so? Even some family members do that. Some family members do it to the poor girl.
Sheikh, were you already at emergency at Grootskee Hospital?
Yeah, no.
I twisted my ankle once, right? They like don't care because there's like a guy with shotgun wounds and you know somebody's head is laying in his lap, and sometimes the police look at that lady coming there. It's minor, man.
Yeah, bigger issues, yeah.
'n blou oog na iemand wat dood is. And so,
but more that blou oog will eventually lead to something.
So look at how the world has turned. We had a major concern in lockdown. This gender-based violence became a talking point because now
there's nowhere to go. Nowhere to
we
go.
can't go out. I'm spending 24/7 with this man. If he's out, then I'm free.
Alhamdulillah. That's even for the children also.
Yeah. For the kids as well, because you're putting them through. So, who do they, from an Islamic perspective, what is our duty as a judiciary? Why are we then resting on our laurels when it comes to that? Why is there so much red tape? Do we wait till, because I think across the madhab, except the Ahnaf, if there's evidence, you don't need to be witnesses. If there's evidence and you ascertained that it's him, then you can make tafriq. As the hakim, you make tafriq. And he's then responsible. You keep the mahar that you got. And in that case, what here is a slat is a cheap book, man. And then, and then you must still nafaqah for the time that she's under iddah.
Sheikh, can I just make an Ik heb door die guest staan, man. Ik heb woordjes staan, Millen. Dus als ik het sê, is jullie niet, is ik. Dus ik moet niet van jullie.
Sheikh, I always say, ik het klaar niks. Hulle kan niks van my vat.
Als ik
A
nog
man has got nothing, has nothing to
Kijk
lose.
hier. Pat, hulle wil daar die studio. Hulle wil die studio intrek.
als ik nog iets
Jullie
zeg,
hebben agressie.
wat is het zo?
Soil.
Zeven zo. En met CD, disclaimer, als ik nog
Disclaimer, ja.
disclaimer.
This is not necessarily
The views of the podcast.
of the Ilma podcast.
Okay, but why did everyone nod?
But this is my major gripe I have with our senior institutions that was there before we were there. Why don't we have a social economic, and not talking about an office with social economic
Naamplaatje.
naamplaatjes.
Name tag,
Yeah, name tag. Why don't we have our own legal team for cases like this? Why don't we have our own database of SAPS officers for this? Social services for this.
Yeah.
A legal team for this.
Childline
for this.
crisis.
Yeah. Why don't we have little satellites? I mean, Cash 11 is fair. Ik moet zeggen, we zijn Cash 11
Okay.
News. Cash 11 is
That's it.
fair.
That's it.
That's fair. So you live in Mitchell's Plain. So you must travel from Mitchell's Plain to there.
Yeah.
Now you come there, the walk-ins. No walk-ins. Appointment. Where's your appointment? No appointment. Go back. Die system moet weer terug gaan. Now they phone him.
Oh god.
Listen here. Dan is was nou weer gewees. She made a case. Or you come in. Oh, jy was daar gewees. Kom eens.
Yeah.
Jy gaat nie weer terug hier.
Yeah.
Now she had one blue eye. When she went back home,
Yes.
she got two blue eyes. You
Yeah.
understand? That is my gripe that I had. And that is why back then, that group of friends that we had, this is what we did.
Working committees, yeah.
Sheikh, but I
That's
think
what we
it's important to empower women. I remember either being in the lecture or watching it on a video, but this is years back. Sheikh Dr. Abdullah Hakim Quick, while he was here, he was speaking about a project they ran in Toronto, in Canada, where they had somebody who was harassing hijabi women. There was somebody in Toronto that just preyed off hijabi women. Like a serial harasser, but it's not vrouens wat hijab
Hijabi,
dra.
harasser.
So they started a self-defense class at the Islamic Center. All right? They taught the sisters martial arts. I don't know what was it, Kung Fu, karate. There wasn't mixed martial arts back
Muay
then.
Thai.
But then they got a certificate. And the certificate was a plank that they had to break. After the training, they could break a plank, like a piece of wood, wooden plank. And then it would be written on there, on the 13th or say on the 10th of November 2022, Khadija broke this. The sisters used to hang it up in their rooms above their beds. And they say that that caused GBV to drop.
That is the only way to do it.
If you know, jou vrou gaan jou bliks,
Yeah.
of can bliksem and can defend herself.
Dan gaan ze die kaarten vatten, ja.
And that's when we say Calvin min al ghaib is like when you are able to, but now you're not able to. Daar is Calvin min al ghaib.
Hij is bang.
Dat is bang.
Hij is bang, ja.
Hij is bang, ja. But lief is te bang, man.
And then Sheikh, then there's the issue of loving our daughters. Man. As fathers, do we really portray love? All three of you guys are fathers of daughters. You know.
MashaAllah. Hoe wil je erin lachen? Hoe wil je erin lachen?
No, I mean, you have that, obviously you have a special bond with these. Die ou stoot my stoel agt vorentoe en die mic is hier voor.
Nee, maar gewoon met die mekaar met lekker ry. Olie reg gekos aan. Hy is hot chips nou.
Don't you find that a lady who's loved and she knows she's loved and she knows there's also the extreme in that. I'll speak about that. But if your daughter knows she's loved, she won't sell herself short.
Short, yeah.
Or tolerate that. Also, on the other hand, we find people saying, sy loop enige tyd. That's also extreme.
Yeah.
That's not good, yeah.
That's another extreme, yeah.
No, that's not good. I don't agree with
As a father, Sheikh Mounir, what do you have to say about that?
Okay, first, let's...
Do we love our daughters enough?
Yeah, that last point that Sheikh made now about this is for you allemaal day. No. You putting in her mind.
Yeah.
If I'm not, if I've got that problem,
I can walk.
No, that's not right. I don't agree with that. Yeah. But if the problem becomes too big for you, by all means, your family structure is here. Got a strong family base.
Yeah, I think like Moulana Ebrahim mentioned that people aren't even married men, but that lady stays through that pak because she believes and the partner already set her mind in such a way nobody wants you, nobody's going to look after you.
Yeah.
It's only me, and I eat you, but only I will look after you because once you leave here, you have nothing. No one.
Yeah, so like Moulana Ashik said now, I'm a bit different, man. Like a lot of people, they get fooled by this. See me, they say, "Nee, goed, pa, vrijdag."
MashaAllah.
But if you touch my daughter, I'm not the same guy. They become somebody else.
The house.
Yeah, they become somebody else. And I think I'm guilty of that with all my children. Right. So, but with the daughters, like fathers know with the daughters, which is special. There's something else. A son can look after himself.
Yeah.
The daughter is something special.
But that's Gheera.
Yeah.
That's protective jealousy.
Definitely.
Oh, come on. Bring it up, Suhail. Nasima Khan Sheikh, instead of marriage classes, we should now have martial arts classes.
Yo.
Sister Nasima's from IFM in PE.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah, she hosts me every now and then. And I think a man needs to, he is the sultan. Right? A sultan has a responsibility. He is the captain of the ship. Right? And the captain just doesn't order. When that ship is going down, he's responsible. Yeah. He's the last man that jumps from. He must stand till the very end. Yeah. And when you're just going to take the authority, but you're not going to take the responsibility, then you're failing. You're failing in your.
Just before my last point with regards to Gheera. So we all know taxi drivers that in Cape Town. So on this occasion, my wife was driving, and Sheikh and I was running that day. I started running. I was running that day.
Running from your problem.
Yeah. Ik ga niet mijn problemen doen, problems met jou.
Run forest, run.
Je zei die problemen, kom maar niet zo. Kom niet zeggen, eerst ervan. But in any case, he saw it. And she said to me, Munir Kanala, don't go on. I said, no. That's not how this works here.
Nobody swears at you.
Yeah.
Not even me.
Not even me. Because that's for my own safety. That's why I do it. That's for my own safety.
Because I victims, man.
That's for my own safety. But in any case, Sheikh, and we're driving, and as we're getting to the fire station here, I make dua, I say, Allah, please turn this robot red. Let me get this guy here. And I gave him my ID. I said to him, say self maaf, say, photos hier weggery. Say Jay maaf. He pulled a knife, he pulled something else. I took everything from him, and I gave him my ID. Say, die is my vrou. Say, praat nie met haar so nie.
Exactly.
You understand, Sheikh? So, we don't like to, resort to violence. But that is my amana. The children are my amana. So,
Yeah, but imagine you throwing authority around in the house.
Yeah.
And you come outside after that, math.
What is it? Umar say? Be like a lion outside.
Yeah.
There's one of the Sahaba when the mind. The name now slips the mind. So with the 4 witnesses, man, when zina happened,
the Sahabi. Initially they were supposed to testify with him, and then they pulled out.
No, but besides that, the 4 witnesses. So he said, "What if I catch my wife in the bed with somebody? Must I get 4 witnesses?"
Yeah.
Now, Rasulullah, I'll finish him. I'm gonna finish him. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, he yaghar. He has this protective jealousy.
Yeah.
But I am more aghir, and Allah is even more aghir minni. So there were even things that were halal that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't allow because of his ghira. So the whole issue, and in Cape Town society, maybe it's not the politically correct word, but the mufism. I was going to use it because so they were allowed in.
That is not politically correct.
Okay, effeminate. I'm just looking for because sometimes we're so academic and the people don't know what we're talking about, right? So they would come into our homes and do your sister's hair and bucket cookies with your ma because you think fine, you're fine. They're one of the sisters, right? And there was someone like that who entered upon the house of the Prophet ﷺ. But then what did the Prophet caught him do something. He says when the lady comes, that lady, when she comes, she's 4. And when she walks away, she's 8. He was now describing this
physique.
So is he really
Yeah.
effeminate. And I mean, it's now trendy to have a friend like that. And the girls like to have a friend like that.
That's
On
for the
side.
other team, yeah.
But is he really batting or is he just looking for female company? I
Yes.
mean, where do you draw?
Because you are gonna let your guard down in his.
Ek het nie geallieer.
Yeah, you're gonna let your guard down in his company because you're thinking he's
Nah,
not,
he's alright,
he
yeah.
doesn't have any interest. In the meantime, he's verlicking himself and he's walking away and he's a man.
But
That's what Rasulullah mean.
But in Quran is effeminate, right? Those type of people, if he's really like a khuntha, if he's really not male or female, he's allowed. There's like the laws are like dropped for him, or a person that sexual organs doesn't work. But the Prophet didn't like that because what he did, and then he said no. Part of his protective jealousy was no. It's
You don't come
allowed,
anymore.
but no. It's not a fard musna. It's just like it's allowed for them to enter, but if he does this, then no.
Yeah.
But then sister will say, Quran says, but the other Prophet is not happy with something. But Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is not happy with certain people coming into your home.
But also, when it comes to that regard, doesn't the hadith also say ta'atu zawj wajib? So if he's not happy with somebody, then he's got that ability to say, listen here, I don't want him here. End of story.
But you see,
Him? What do you want? Who do you want? Equity.
Everything is not. It's also not isolated, man. Sometimes the meaning of the verse, the apparent meaning, or the how can I put it? The dhahiri meaning of the verse is not really in conformity with the adillah that we have from the hadith, man. So we take to that. That is deeper because Rasulullah was sent as what? To explain that. And whose explanation are we going to take? Your own interpretation of that verse on the apparent, on the apparent translation that you got, or on what Rasulullah says.
Shaykh, so we've gone over the hour. In actual fact, there's one brother Harun Mayman, he told me, Shaykh, the podcast is too short.
Yes.
Initially, we started off like much shorter.
We're living in a society where people don't want to watch a 1 hour thingy.
Yeah, but this is.
But I think it appeals more to the older generation, more senior generation. But obviously, youngsters and that they won't watch a hour-long podcast.
Was that TikTok generation?
Actually, they will.
Is it?
Actually, will. If the information is like this and it's in this setting,
it's relevant, it's relaxed,
yeah, then they will. Because I can tell you, Sheikh, my class is supposed to only be for an hour, 8 to 9. The students leave at 10 o'clock. So you understand? So if it's laid back like this, they're on board.
Yeah, uncle came to me, big grey beard. He looks at me. Assalamu alaikum.
You are the technical.
Nah, he looks at me again. I'm like, okay. He says, I'm so and so's Opa. I watch the podcast. I like it. It's relaxed, man.
Yes.
His granddaughter also finished the matric at Al Arqam. She got like a top learn or something. I saw the top awards. No, with the thingy that you had, the graduation thingy. Didn't you have like a graduation ceremony where the kids got certificates and stuff like that? And so the uncle said, like, he likes it when the tulab and the students and the sheikhs are like relaxed, man. Hulle trek hulle sheikh baasje uit, ja. Otherwise, you might sheikh mode die altyd.
I had to go in Shaykh mode, but I always wear the cap because
to break the Shaykh mode.
No, because there's an over shoulder shot and I have a bald spot.
But the approach also, it needs to change, man. Some people are saying, "Oh, I see you doing podcast now." Anything? No, that is sarcastic. But I mean, anything to get the message over, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything to bring the person closer to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. And of course, there's guidelines, and of course, the content is screened. We screen it before it comes out of our mouth. Sometimes
like
we don't have control over it.
If the words are still in you, it's master. If the words are out, it becomes your master. Mashaykh, it was good having you guys.
Anything you want to share with us, Sheikh Yusuf?
Somebody asked me, the year's almost done. I said, and I said, the year was a difficult year. I think for everyone. I think it's the first year that we again fully fledged back to work and all of those things. But every year comes with different challenges, and every year is going to come with its challenges. The same like, my parable or my example that I make is like, every baby comes with its own risk.
You had to go like that way. You have to go that way.
Hulle call hy die lang draai.
Ja, lang draai.
Sy kan so gemaak het, maar ze maak dus soos die.
But that's a mic drop.
Oh, my drop.
Mic drop.
No, inshallah. Yeah, no. Inshallah. In future podcasts, inshallah, I will share a story
Inshallah.
that has it blew my mind.
Alhamdulillah.
It's just about a simple guy and his amazing wife. And,
Allah, mashallah.
But inshallah, one day I will
Inshallah.
share that story. Inshallah. That
Inshallah.
has, sometimes you just think, Anyway, inshallah. Inshallah.
My wicked blik gelijk, né? Like Taiwa.
What did I tell you? I said, it was a tough week. But
Line week geweest die week, ja.
Sheikh Nasser also got to hear about this happening, and he's not very emotional always, man. But
Sheikh, not with this type of information, Sheikh. Yo.
Okay,
You can't say something like that. The man is not emotional.
No, I mean, he's like, we're gonna do something.
Yeah,
Inshallah.
But the news brought tears.
Allah.
And I saw the tears. I was there
Allahu Akbar.
to thank myself.
You really know, that happening really showed me friends, man. And like, I'm making it about myself. But inshallah, we will. We will. Yeah, I said we're going to do it in the future. Mullah Ashik said, no, you gave me a timeline. Okay, so we'll do it in that timeline.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
Mashaykh, barakallahu feekum. Where is the khutbahs tomorrow?
I was asked to give khutbah, but I'm going to cancel tomorrow because a friend of mine's son is giving his maiden khutbah, so I want to be there at the maiden khutbah.
Are you going to intimidate the boy?
No, I'm not going to intimidate.
What?
Is that also your maiden
Just
khutbah?
chill there and
No, I think it's beautiful to support first time khatib.
Inshallah.
You know I remember was it my first khutbah. Yeah. And if you see familiar faces, it's somewhat relaxing.
It is.
It's not so intimidating.
I
Inshallah.
can't remember where
I gave my maiden khutbah at Makwas.
is it.
Mine was
That was the center that made you
the Wrong
famous.
Road.
The Ranga. Oh yeah, but that's your home
How
ground.
do you mean,
my
huh?
hometown. That time
Mashaykh?
she was still alive.
Sheikh Munir, you're gonna do the closing, inshallah.
Advice, closing advice, nasiha, inshallah. For the coming week, inshallah.
I don't know. How does it work?
Anything that comes to mind.
Okay, anything comes to mind.
You see, there's one person sitting here, man. So you see, he's going to Ilm Hub, but then his wife heard Ilham.
Ja, Allah.
Hij is mooi aangetrokken.
Hij is wel een groot
En die vrouw
stripje.
zijn naam is Ilham. ook hier.
My father is important.
So the last portion you get Ilham.
Hij
And then you
zegt
see the Ilham. Ilham.
Ilham, ja.
Ilham.
Dat zeg ik lekker.
So inshallah, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So yeah, so we have to. I didn't actually want to for a long time. People was asking me also to do stuff like this, and I was very like old school man. You know, one-on-one.
Klas.
Klas. Daar zit ik moet hier zitten, hulle moet daar zitten. And alhamdulillah, with the response that we get, we must move with the times. Otherwise, if you stagnate, you die.
Definitely.
Yeah, and then I would say, Sheikh, barakallahu feekum. Continue with this.
Jazakumullah khair.
As we know, like I said to my students the other night, on this platform of TikTok, right? You see so many fitan on them, man.
Ja.
Subhanallah, and it's not only guys that they look like us, man. They speak like us. They use terminology like us, but their agenda is not
Spreading khair.
not khair.
It's not solid.
Yeah, there's no ikhlas there.
Sanawatun khadda'at.
Yeah, and what they're doing there is they're trying to build camps, man. Following
Yeah.
this group, that group.
Yeah, it's all about that
Yeah.
today.
So
Civil war.
yeah. It looks that way. So for the tulab out there and for the mashayikh out there, talabul ilm, Sheikh, and just continue with it. Continue with it.
Inshallah.
Keep on going. Allah increase barakah in you and
Ameen,
give you
ameen,
strength.
ameen.
Dat je ook op daar gaat zitten. Dat is die. Je satellite station niet.
Ja, yo.
DSTV en wat not. Ja.
Ameen. Barakallahu feekum, Mashaykh.
Wa iyyakum.
Shukran for everyone. The technical errors and everything like
Ja,
that.
dat was dat.
No, it's
true.
right.
That's true. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
لا إله إلا الله استغفرك وأتوب إليك.
هلا بالخميس هلا بالخميس ويكند عيال هلا بالخميس هلا بالخميس هلا 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 بالخميس ويكند عيال هلا بالخميس